Hi, it's Mobb Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. How are you doing? Greetings to you all. I'm going a little bit early today because I have to leave early for a couple of reasons. Number one, I have to walk Bolo. Number two, there's going to be a IFGA online meeting. First person in, Logan with Ambist Aquatics. How y'all doing? So as you come in, please say hi. I want to say hi to you. Yeah, kind of just did a bunch of water changes. Dumped the dirty water on the lawn, which is good. So that was nice. So the water got on the yard, except I noticed something. I have to sort of figure something out. And by the way, I'm on vacation this week. So what did I do? I remembered I didn't do something. So I went into the office for about an hour. That's the beauty of staycation. But it was something I had to do. If I wouldn't, it would cost the company money. So it's all about it. All about it. So yeah, did a bunch of water changes. I fed. I'll do my second feeding after we're done today. I fed them at about 8:45. I defrosted some Cyclops and Daphnia for the guppies, and fed the Amica Splendens just their normal flake. And so that's what I have going on. But the subject of today's live stream is how do you research the type of fish you want to get? And I started thinking about this the other day because I'd like to do the next level up, Plecostomus. But I don't want to get anything that's going to be 10 inches long. I want something that's going to be, like a bristle nose or a bushy nose. Something that's 4 or 5 inches at greatest length. Tampa Tom, how are you? Rico Stan, Collins Critter Cave. All is good in my hood. I hope all is good with you as well. It's a little cold here today. On Thursday, it got up to 71. Right now, it's 38 degrees outside. I'd ask my Amazon Echo, but I have a problem. All of a sudden, probably about 20 minutes ago, I lost all the power to my living room. I had to go flip the thing, and for whatever reason, my Amazon Echo didn't want to reconnect to the internet when that got up. So I'm letting it now quietly begin to do what it's. I unplugged it. It's probably still listening to every word I'm saying, but it's unplugged at the moment. So there you go. Couple little notes. As you go and research stuff, and I don't claim to be a pleco expert, but I really, really like the super red, so I just want to jump into something else that's a little more upscale. Is that if it's anything like Guppies, there's a billion YouTube pages with people talking about guppies. There are lots of things having to do with advice on on Facebook. Nearly all the advice I see is bad. Doug Gray knows what he's doing. I know what I don't know as much as Doug Gray, but Doug will say that I know something about him at least. But I swear to you, I see people who claim to have expertise. And so what I use YouTube for when I'm when I'm trying to figure out what to do with a fish or what have you, I use YouTube as I guess the best way to describe it. I use it as as better pictures of what type of fish I want to get. Like placostomus stuff, I'm not, I know that Andrew, not for catfish, but for Goodies, Andrew Pierchowski, very long Polish name, he knows what he's doing. He's big in the American Live Bear Association. He shares stuff. He knows what he's doing. It with plecos, I know Tom Endler of TM Aquatics. I know he knows what he's doing. A lot of the stuff I see, is that you have to be real careful all the way around with what you see, because you have folks who put up a YouTube channel, and I'm not criticizing this, I'm just stating what's the fact. And some of these people may have, I saw one channel talk about that he's read all the books on the subject. Great. And we should all do that, by the way. That does not mean that you know what you're doing. Reading the books is great, but it's having book knowledge. It's like if you went to college or you went to like a apprentice school, if you were work in like one of the trades or something like that. You can go to the school and do all that sort of stuff, but when you actually start to do it full time, it's completely different. My ex-wife was an accountant, and she was training in a fresh college grad. And the fresh college grad thought she knew everything, and she knew what? Nothing. She knew how to do basic stuff, but she didn't really understand the process of, a lot of the different things that go in with a daily accounting job in the world. Well, I'm sure she studied it, but it was not part of practice. It was not part of how everything goes in. Well, that's how I look at YouTube, is that, if Doug Gray says something, I pretty much trust it. TM Aquatics about plecos, I trust it. I trust a number of different things, but I see a lot of stuff that's not very good. So let's just keep that in mind as we're looking at stuff. So use YouTube as it should be, a community. Don't ever trust. I mean, I swear to you, someone was giving advice on one of the Guppy things, and I'm a member of a lot of them. And 10 people weighed in with 8 different things that were all wrong, completely wrong. But you can't sit there saying, don't listen to these morons. They have no idea what they're talking about. It doesn't come out real well. If you try writing someone privately, they may look at it, they may dismiss it, thinking you're spamming them. So that's one of the things, to be very careful. How I end up doing my research is this. I go and I join clubs, and the one thing I've noticed is that, and maybe you guys can help me. Is there like a catfish pleco club? I was like looking around and I couldn't find one. Is there one? Because I very much would like to join it. Mainly because I want to do the next level pleco. It's what I want to do. So I'm like going through lists of plecos right now. I mean, it's just nuts. And I saw somebody that's trying to sell a pleco for William Pridemore, S, Bob Kaler, Doug Gray. Holy, all of a sudden I'm getting a lot of people talking. Yes, and don't bother buying extreme garbage fish food, waste of money. I prefer not to join an A club than let me join. Fishymon 64, how are you? All of a sudden, I had a bunch of people show up in a row here. So, and all these people in, nobody, none of the chatting was working. I may end up having to do this. Because for whatever reason my thing is not working well. So I think I'm going to have to watch the comments on the thing on on the deal. So let me silence this. All right, that worked out well. So I'm hoping that well, that isn't working either. I'm okay. Whatever reason, Facebook's or YouTube's having an issue. So, yeah, the process here of research, it's there are some big channels that have some expertise. Some of the smaller channels that have some expertise. It's for Guppies, ins and outs of what's going on, Doug Gray gives a lot of good information. It's now there are some people that are members of these big group of of like the IFGA or have pretty good expertise, but for whatever reason they don't put it in their videos. They just put basically, here's what I'm selling, which is fine, but that doesn't quite up and go with it. And by the way, if I'm slow on greeting you, I apologize. My thing isn't working right. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. I'll try again here. And I have no idea why I can't see the scroll. And I just have no idea. Okay, there we go. S to Mob Pleco. You see, Budget Aquarius. Aquarius, how are you? Vinny the Mooch. Let's see if I missed anybody else since my thing was not working well. So, yeah, I'll tell you what. The process of getting things done. It's a heck of a deal. Mob Pleco. Yeah, I think if I end up having like 30 Pleco tanks, then maybe we have to reinstall it. I own a URL, by the way, that I'm tempted to change my name to, but I haven't done it yet, and I haven't told a lot of people. Bolo is pranking you on the comments. I'll tell you what Bolo's doing. He's right here. I think you can see a little bit of his leg right there. Saw his foot pop up. He's asleep. He's been bossy all day long. Yeah, so the process of going in and trying to figure out stuff, going from there. By the way, it's our buddy John Oliver has been taking on the COVID, and so hopefully he's doing well. He, hopefully he'll show up here in a moment, and we'll get all sorts of stuff. So you help Bolo a little bit. It's all Kaler's fault. Well, pretty much is. That's pretty much standard operating procedure. So, what else? I'm on like a 5-day weekend. So yesterday I did a little shopping. Did basically, besides feeding the fish, didn't do any fish room work. Today I did a bunch of water changes. I'll do a lot of water changes tomorrow and the next day. And I did big water changes. And I have to figure out something. I have like it's cold outside, and I have these aquariums that are closer to the window, and it seems like their temperature is a little bit lower than the other fish. So there you go. All the way going on from there. What else is going on, you guys? A few minutes, you're on your way to a local fish store to sell plecos, just calico bristlenose. Ah, there you go. And they sell them like candy, as they should. They're gorgeous fish. And yeah, I really appreciate the whole process here. Now this thing seems to be working in the right direction now. I have no idea. If the chat doesn't show up right away, I apologize. I'll read your thing as soon as it shows up. It shows up whenever the heck it wants to. Um, you know, yeah, doing the water changes, doing all that. It's you know, I dump my water out on my lawn, hoping that'll make it good and pretty next year. We're getting snow. We're getting now. Some of you are in northern climes. Here in Southwest Missouri, snow is usually about a once or twice a year deal. We got a little bit of snow one day last year, and it was gone by the end of the day. Bolo did not have a fenced-in backyard like he does this year. I'll put him out there and let him run, and he'll be going boom, boom, boom. It's he loves snow, and then I'll have to towel him off when he gets back in. I'm drinking today Diet 7 Up with my Vikings thing. That's good. And yeah, so yeah, the other thing having to do with this is that the process of getting knowledge. And yeah, the chat comments, YouTube's having a real issue with it, gang. So if it doesn't get rolling real good, I'll probably cut it a little bit short. I'm going to leave a little early anyways today because there's a Guppy Club deal I want to attend. I got to walk Bolo and get ready to do that. And I have to watch the 5th race at 105 at Gulfstream is the Daddy's Joy is a horse I have a share in. One of 600 shares in Daddy's Joy. So it's not that big of a deal. And so I mean it's so I own one, it's I own one of 600 shares. So she this is going to be her 3rd race this year. Her first race was 2 months ago, just about 2 months ago, and she won it, and she looked great. Her next race, she sort of didn't start well and got pushed to the back and never caught up. And it was sort of she's a turf horse, so she's running on and the turf was wet. And so I think that sort of messed her up. But today the turf is really good, and so that's good news. You've been breeding the long fins. Yeah, that's maybe that's what I end up doing is just do the long fin super reds. I love the super reds. They look great. Look absolutely great. So we'll have to figure that out. So 2 of my aquariums on the end, and I haven't gone and checked all the aquariums, but all of a sudden I'm putting my hand into my fourth aquarium, went from the inside to the window, and all of a sudden it was colder, and it was like 3 degrees colder. It's 74. So there you go. You're almost 40 inches behind your yearly snowfall average. Well, there you go. Chattanooga Ed in the house. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, gang. We're having problems with the comments. Yeah, and Budget Aquarius, you're exactly right. You said much better than I did. That knowledge is often the result of experience, not the number of YouTube subs. Totally true. And all I can say is that if you go in and pay full attention to what's going on with your full attention with what's going on with your whatever type of fish you want to do. I think YouTube's a great tool. You just have to make sure you know what they go through. Do you know what? I've been developing my own strain of swordtails, Bob. And it's I took 2 different varieties of single swords and I've been combining them. My ultimate goal is that occasionally they'll begin to get lines up and down them. It's kind of cool. And they're Mobb Guppy swords that I've just combined different lines of swords to make it happen. It's that's what I'm doing there. With swords, like the idea that if you want to enter in a show, if you have like Roebuck Reds or purples, whatever you have, well, if you breed that to another fish of the same tail, good, you never know what you're going to get, and it's not showable until you develop into a particular color that's going through there. With the swords, no one cares about the color. The color can be anything. So it's just, do you have them that match? And that's what I've been trying to do. And trying to do right from there. So, yeah, so Bolo's here. He's, by the way, having to do with my dog and my dog is old. He has a heart condition. He was coughing all night. So I gave him I woke up at 4 because I had a headache. Took Tylenol, get back to bed, and he starts coughing up a lung, and he's not gonna let me sleep. So I got up, gave him his medicine, and the coughing ended. So I don't know if all of a sudden the medicine I gave him, the pill I gave him yesterday morning wasn't effective. I don't know. Maybe it was a bad pill. One would think they're all about the same, but an hour after he took that pill, he's fine. Now, hey, Kaler, how long, or Chattanooga Ed, now I'm getting all sorts of comments that you guys did there. It's the makings of a decent country song. Yeah, you see, there you go. Mobb swords, yeah. Chattanooga Ed, they can. The female can race with the men. The men can't race with the females. These are all fillies and mares, 3 years and up. Daddy's Joy, she's 3, and so we'll see how she does today. Yeah, I know the chat's not working at all. I mean, it's just it's unbelievable. Google. Alphabet Company. Uh, so yeah, the other thing about the swords that I like about them is that they're really a beautiful fish, and I don't think people really understand how beautiful they are. They look at the big tails of the deltas, or as some of the Asian strains have the umbrella tails, which are beautiful. Not taking it away, but there's something about the simplicity of how beautiful these fish are. So that's why I love the sword-tailed guppies. And Rico, you got them. Kaler and Chattanooga Ed, you have them. You can attest they're really beautiful fish, and they get to a pretty good size. One of the things about the swordtails is that one of the criticisms is that they don't get to quote unquote a size like a delta or what have you. I'll tell you what, I've got female swords that are several months old that are bigger or as big as my Roebuck red females. I mean, they're huge. So, and the males can get to a reasonably good size. I'm hoping to enter some of them in, in a Guppy show in 2021. Good luck with that. There may not be any. Who knows? May not be any at all. I'm hoping there is. I'm hoping that now that the vaccine is hitting, I'll be as soon as they allow me to have a vaccine, I'm in on it. And I'm in on it, and I look forward to it. I look forward to taking it. I just think that it allowed me to get more into a normal life. I know that's what a lot of you guys think too. So it's just and our buddy John Oliver having it, which isn't good. So hopefully he gets soon. Yeah, the chat's not working at all, which is kind of a bummer. But we're gonna keep going here until it starts to work, or I lose anything I have to say. The other thing though about researching on you can go and you can learn all the basic stuff you need. Okay, water quality, water pH, the breeding process, all that sort of stuff. So again, for those who just popped in, here's how I do it. I use YouTube if I know I can trust the person, that they know what they're doing. I will go with them. Doug Gray knows a lot more than I do. He's a bigger expert than I am. So I watch him for guppies. Tom with TM Aquatics, he's pretty good with plecos. He knows what he's doing. Andrew Pierczalski, the Polish guy from Chicago with the Goodyears, he knows what he's doing. He's really good. He's very active in the American Library Association. And so that's sort of what I do. Yeah, and I go through and it's and yeah, that's sort of what's going on. Well, I'm hanging out waiting for this chat to work. I don't think it's going to, but I'll hang out a little while longer. I'd ask you what you're up to, but it'll never show up. It's crazy. 14 here, 13 big likes. Thank you, gang. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it all the way around. So it's yeah, the whole process here of going in and seeing what what we have going on with our deal. All right, gang. Without conversing with you, I'm a half hour in and I'm running out of things to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. We'll try this again Monday. Let's see if this thing works.